Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to be doing the deck profile for the Batteryman OTK deck that I tore those E.Dragons up with. But anyways, I just want to mention first off that E-Dragon player is probably, not very familiar with the deck. And second off, any deck that OTKs is simply just a deck that can OTK. It doesn't really matter how high of a tier deck you're playing. If you get OTK'd, it just happens. But this deck is actually okay. It's more for fun than anything. I built it as kind of a troll deck because of this card. This card is just... no one gets more salty when they see this card. It's so annoying to deal with. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. I'll explain the choices as we go along. And I wanted to mention this extra deck is probably unnecessary. The only thing that you will actually need in the extra deck is pretty much going to be a Black Rose Dragon. There are times where technically you can make other things, but majority of the time it's just Black Rose, then you go for the OTK. But let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So, first off, I have Triple Shining Angel. Basically, it brings your Batteryman AA out on the board just to, have it, and then once it dies, whatever. You're basically going to be using a Battery Charger, so you pay 500 and you special summon a Batteryman monster from your graveyard, and then you use Infernal Reckless Summon and go off. But yeah, basically this card just stalls, and it just sits there because, it's a light. And also, it lets you special summon Honest, and then return Honest back to your hand. And what's important against, higher tier decks is sometimes they'll have one card that, won't be destroyed when you go for a Black Rose play. So let's say, for example, they have a Draco Sack on board. You go ahead and go for a Debris Dragon. You go ahead and grab the Batteryman AA. You go for a Black Rose play, and you blow up the entire field, and then the Draco Sack is still there. Obviously now, you won't be able to OTK if Draco Sack is still there. So once you declare your attack with one of your Batteryman, you drop the Honest, you can still get off the OTK. So Honest is just a really important card in any light deck, but in the Batteryman, it definitely helps out a lot against the higher tier decks that can make Draco Sack. Next up, two Debris Dragon. This just allows you to clear the board sometimes before you go for an OTK, but keep in mind that you can only activate this with when your opponent controls a face-up monster also. So that's one downside to going for Black Rose, but it still allows you to just get rid of back row and stuff. Next up, Triple Batteryman AA. This is what's required to actually pull off the OTK, and I love how this card can't get bottomless, which is so awesome. Well, on its initial summon. Obviously, if its attack gets increased, then yeah, bottomless can be activated. If, say for example, something is activated that boosts all monsters' attack by 1500, and as soon as it's summoned, it gets the attack booster, you can technically still bottomless it. But for the most part, it won't get bottomless. So Batteryman AA, very awesome card, and then. Next up, triple card D just to make the deck a little bit faster, and you basically set up for an OTK. Then triple Maxi also to help with the OTK. The next up, triple Batteryman Micro Cell. Now this just lets you it flips, and then you special summon Batteryman AA, and then when it gets destroyed by battle, you get to draw a card. So it's pretty awesome in that aspect. I do wish this card was like a tuner or something. It'd be nice. Also, if it was level 3, that'd be awesome. It would just add more targets for Debris Dragon. Next up, 3 Battery Charger. Basically, you just special summon the Batteryman AA, then Infernal Reckless Summon, and then you Short Circuit and you win. Next up, Short Circuit. So you have to have 3 or more face-up Batteryman monsters, and you destroy all cards your opponent controls. So pretty darn good effect. Next up, Triple Duality, because basically it's a setup deck, then you OTK. Next up, Triple Infernal Reckless Summon. Basically, you just spam the field and go for game. I mean, basically what it comes down to is you have 3 Batteryman on the field, you activate Short Circuit, and then you simply win, because each of the Batteryman have the effect where they boost up themselves by 1,000 for each Batteryman AA you control, so basically 3,000 each, total of 9,000. Next up, Triple Shroud of Greed. It's just there, more draw power to finish off the game. Then Triple Threatening Roar, just to prevent yourself from getting OTK'd, and then Triple Scrap Iron just to make your opponent very angry. Next up, Call of the Haunted. I do like it just because I can Call of the Haunted, Batteryman, and then obviously just go for game pretty much from there. As far as the extra deck, like I mentioned, guys, you don't need anything except for Black Rose, because the only tuner you really play is this, and you can't the other synchro material can't be a level 4, so you really can't really make anything. But in the off chance maybe you can get back, I don't know, Maxi, and then you can maybe make a card like Orient Dragon. If you really want to, you can add it in here. This was actually just the extra deck of some other deck that I erased, and then just continuing it on from there. But this deck was more meant for a troll deck than anything, and I just built it to be as fast as possible. They're much more I would say safer ways to play a Batteryman OTK deck, but I just wanted to go all in, and the video was really funny watching E.Dragons lose to it. So if you guys want to check out the video, I'll put the link down below in the description box, but yeah, it's a pretty easy deck to play, and from that video you can actually understand how the OTK works. And I stalled for I don't know how many turns against that E-Dragon player. He just didn't really know what to make. He's like, what do I do against Batteryman? And that's the thing. A lot of players also won't know what to do against Batteryman unless this deck gets popular, and then people actually understand that you need to stop the this card over here from going through. But there's so many other cards that just bring it out. Like, there's no restrictions on how many you can activate, so it's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's just a fun deck for you guys if you guys want to try it out. You know, troll around. You know, I have been playing a lot of meta decks recently. Well, pretty much it's been Mermails and Fire Fist or Fire Kings, but yeah, it's just a fun deck, you know, have some fun with it. But anyways, hope you guys can maybe beat some E-Dragons and get them really angry, because like I said, any deck that has the potential to OTK, it doesn't really matter how high tier of a deck you're facing. If you got the OTK, hey, you just got the win. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Asian Eyes signing out.